Hi, I'm Bill Bradley. Join me for a recent excerpt of American Voices. My guest today is singer-songwriter Eef Barzelay. He was a guest on our show a while back to talk about a song we love here on American Voices called Fontanelle. Today he joins us to talk about a new album that he's made together with Scott Ebert. Eef also performs under the name of Clem Snide, the original name of his band. Today he's here to talk about a song he wrote for the film critic Roger Ebert on his last words. Eef, great to have you here on American Voices. Welcome back.
Well, it's great to be back. Thanks for having me.
So you wrote this song using the words of Roger Ebert, the great critic, and he wrote them as he was passing away. How did you first hear about his last words?
You know, it was kind of a random kind of chance that I happened upon an interview with his wife, his widowed Chaz. And yeah, they focused on Roger's final moments. And she mentioned that he, because he had throat cancer, he couldn't speak. So he was just passing her notes. One of the notes, the sort of theme of a lot of the notes was he had come to realize that this world, this reality that we live in, he realized it was, in his words, it was all an elaborate hoax, that after we die, all is revealed. That just really grabbed me. So I took those words and I took some of the other words that he wrote, and kind of describing what he was experiencing, just made them rhyme, and put them into a song. Death
being more continuity than disjunction.
Yeah.
Maybe things don't end, they just continue.
Yeah, with the continuity,
Did you know these were Roger Ebert's dying words? Did you know these were Roger Ebert's dying words?
It's an ancient notion, I think, a very sort of mystical notion. And there's even some science behind it. But yeah, basically the idea that, once we die, after death, we get to see the real sort of ground of reality or the ground of being.
He looked ever peaceful, he looked ever young, accepting his moment that soon would be done. He wrote in a note that he passed to his wife as he felt himself shedding the skin of this life.
Yeah, well, were you thinking about that for a while when you heard this?
I mean, that's what I loved about it, because it's a mysterious notion. I don't claim to have any answers, but I personally like that. That brings me a lot of comfort to think that after we die, all is revealed. That we are reunited with God or people that we've loved that have died. That it's important to me. I think it's hard for me to square life without that. It's a kind of roundabout way of just making that sort of spiritual, message or spiritual claim.
And the point is that most people don't even think about it. And I guess there's no bigger question than what happens after death. I mean, there are certain religious traditions that would give you a structure to think about that. And then, of course, there are all the other religious traditions that have something to say about this.
That's another thing I liked about it, that Roger Ebert wasn't necessarily known as a kind of spiritual visionary or anything like that. He was just this film critic that everybody knew. So yeah, there's religious traditions that could probably, help a person approach these big questions, but I wasn't brought up with any meaningful religious traditions. So I guess I'm just out there, grabbing whatever I can.
Mm-hmm. Then there's the phrase, there's a vastness that can't be contained. What do you think about when you hear that? Or is it even possible for us to comprehend?
Yeah, the can't be contained, as a thought in the flesh of our brain. I think I was just trying to suggest that maybe our consciousness or our awareness is beyond our body, is beyond the flesh and blood of our that it's connected to some something infinite or something so vast that it can't be, can't be contained.
There is a vastness that can't be contained or described as a thought in the flesh of our brain. It's everything, everywhere, future and past, dissolving together in eternal flight.
In the song, you have a line about the credits, they're rolling, and you combine the idea of the divine with the fact that Roger Ebert was a film critic.
Right, the credits that rolled listed all of God's names. Yeah, I think it would be cool to connect it to the fact that he watched movies. Everybody is a little part of the divine.
Credits that rolled listed all of God's names as images floated away from their frames. From their frames. Did you know these were Roger Ebert's dying words? Did you know these were Roger Ebert's dying words?
Well, Eef, listen, thanks for being here on American Voices.
Oh, my pleasure, Bill. Thank you.
Eef Barzelay's new album in collaboration with Scott Ebert is called Forever Just Beyond. You can find out more about Eef Barzelay and Clem Snide at clemsnide.de.
There is a vastness that can't be contained or described as a thought in the flesh of our brain. It's everything, everywhere, future and past, dissolving together in eternal flight.
Thank you for listening to American Voices here on my YouTube channel. For more interviews celebrating the goodness and creativity of the American people, click the subscribe button below.